Hello and welcome to another edition of Small World USA. And we just saw an autonomous piano. Imagine that. Well, I'm here at Detroit Metro Airport flying out on a Saturday. And the airport wasn't crowded. I'll have to remember, Saturday is a good travel day. Here, the youngsters are supporting recycling and go green. That's a good thing too, although they've had their issues as of late. I'm going to fly to Fort Lauderdale and then head north about a half hour to Pompano Beach, where the folks reside. And we'll check out their place right quick. Alrighty, and the day before was the charity preview. What a great picture that is. And there is the plane I will be boarding shortly. There is a countdown to departure. And a full house. And you can play Bingo. I did not know that.
We'll distribute additional life vests for children who weigh 35 pounds or less. Now, before we take off, be sure your seat is upright, your aisle armrests are lowered, and your tray table is put away.
All right, leaving Romulus at 36 degrees. We'll see what we have in Florida. Taking off on time. We're up in the air. About a 2.5 hour flight in the air. 72 degrees in Fort Lauderdale. All right, we're going to get some construction action here. I'm up on the balcony on the 12th floor, and this is going to be a restaurant. And the fishing pier is going to be redone. It had some damage from Hurricane Irma, which came through last year in September of 2017. But they had already had major league plans to renovate, refurbish, redo, whatever. And it's basically brand spanking new, but in the same position. But a new fishing pier would be a big tourist attraction. Off in the distance, downtown Fort Lauderdale, and the Shark Tooth parking deck, and the pool. It's a fantastic view up here. I could just kind of sit up here and just watch the world go by, day in and day out, because there's always action. And you can actually take the detour up here. I love taking the detour. That's usually for the city of Detroit to take the detour, but surprisingly enough, they have it in other places also. Okay, the fire or the lifeguard station here. You got to worry about rip currents and man-o-war. And the low tide, it'll be low tide in just a couple of minutes. And then they have some other hazard signs here. Got to worry about jellyfish too. All right, we're going to check this lighthouse later in the program. That was made in Detroit. Amazing. And then there was a nice breeze that somebody's doing the surf gliding. I'm not sure the official name for that. Looks like a lot of fun. We'll see a lot of cranes too. In Detroit, we're going to be redeveloping there's the Jamaica House where my parents live. But we're going to have some cranes for the Hudson's redevelopment project. But there's cranes all over in South Florida. Okay. Just after low tide here. And then some gentleman pointed this out to me, said this was a bait fish. Unfortunately, it had seen better days. I'm handling it ever so gently, but I was fascinated here. It's like got a glowing red tip there. It's kind of crazy. And I didn't know if it just had a hook stuck in it or what the deal was. That's the way that fish comes. All right, well, the crane I wanted to see because it was on its own platform. Not in action, though, because this here was on a Saturday. And looking at the underpinnings of the fishing pier, which I believe will all be replaced. Oh, I wanted a closer look, but it's a third-degree felony, so it's not worth the hassle. All right, green as green can be. And then this must have fallen off a palm tree here. And then here, a meteor. Wow, this is a huge chunk meteor. We had a couple meteor fragments hit Michigan a while back. But, yeah, a big one here in Florida. Then a big drill for the pilings here. So that would have been neat to have seen in action. But here on the weekend. Okay, at the concession stand or the Pier Shack menu, hot dog, the standby $3.50, but you can also get some other tasty treats here. A turkey club panini seems reasonably priced. Even a Bloody Mary, imagine that. And that's where you would order, right there, but they're not open. But and now the cruise ships. Now they can leave any number of days. Saturday and Sunday are the big travel days out. But they have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and longer cruises. So you never know. Oh, a couple young lovers prancing on the beach. But yeah, the cruise ships usually leave between like 4 and 6. My parents say like right around 5 o'clock, you'll see them go out like clockwork. They got some volleyball nets. Every city along the coast really wants to welcome the tourist and so forth, because that certainly is dollars. So they do what they can to attract. This might have been a bridal shower or something like that. They were having some fun here. And they have a nice fountain. And I don't know if these were still Christmas lights left up. Oh, look at off in the distance, an Irish pub. You hardly see those anymore. And then bocce ball without the walls, which is kind of neat. The young lady there was telling me they have about 4 or 5 of these places where they have this like AstroTurf kind of thing. And they can play. And she says it's kind of interesting because you have the undulations. You know, it's almost like a golf course kind of a thing. So there's bumps and whatnot. Makes it a little more interesting to play the game. So their variation of it. They had different colored balls. Here, I can see the green ones. Oh, this was a great shot here.
Nope.
Well, with the last shot, they took it. There's some bigger bocce balls. Yeah, Briny Avenue. So maybe the pub was here first, and then they named the street after it. I'm not sure. Or vice versa. LED lights. And the drawbridge goes up on the half hour and on the hour. And that goes over the intercoastal. So just to let some of that... Well, this was a little water taxi kind of thing, but there's some other bigger boats. And then I'm going to touch on urban planning and whatnot, but the parents said they're going to look forward here to a new restaurant being built. It was vacant property for the longest time. They're going to have like 10 wharfs for boats or whatnot. So you can bring your boat and saddle up to the restaurant. So we'll keep an eye on that one too. This is the intercoastal. And a lot of action certainly on this waterway also. And it's a manned guard. It's not autonomous. Then I'm checking out the moon. Just a sliver of a moon. Looking good. So getting close. Sun is probably already set, but dusk here. They have a brewery, 26 degrees. That must be the latitude. It's the local latitude. So craft breweries are all the rage these days. This is a swordfish, but it doesn't have that little pointy red tip on it. But Flanagan's Restaurant is quite popular. There's like 23 in Florida, but I believe this was the original one. Plus, it has a packaged liquor store on the end. I can't say I've seen that before, where it's a Happy Moon, but you can get hillbilly bourbon here. And they have a night window. So if you want to walk up and get your booze, you can make short work of it. Lickety split. A Japanese restaurant across the street. And the Foundry. This is a fairly new addition to the restaurant, but there's tons of restaurants in South Florida. But I like their logo. We actually patronized this place a few days later. Marine fuel, a little pricier than the normal gas you would put in your car. There's a nice yacht, but you'll have to wait to see mine yet. That'll be coming up later. All right, well, they have tons of condos, and this was like the sales lobby, I think, for one of the buildings here. I was taking a look at the high-back chairs, the chandelier. Yeah, nicely appointed. So I'm taking a walking tour kind of through Pompano Beach here, short, just a quick little tour. Nice hinges here to open the doors for the rescue vehicles, and the pier. I call it the shark parking deck, but it lights up quite well at night. All right, well, that was the first day. I went sleepy, and now we're going to come in on Sunday, and they groom the beaches, hell or high water, each and every day. They have immaculate beaches. Nice sand. Oh, yeah. So there we are. This is Sunday. Get to sleep in a little bit because you're on vacation. Typically, I get up around 5 to start work at 6. But when you're on vacation, oh, yeah, I'm ready for a detour. Whatever life throws my way. They do have a detour here, though, because of their construction work. The walkers that normally walk the beach have to jut out a little bit and then get back to the well-beaten path over there. But this construction site will be around for a while. There's the moon action again behind the clouds. It's almost just like a little smiley face. There, it brightened up for us. It's getting larger though, so it's a waxing moon. Okay, so didn't do much. We ran some errands today, so it's already nightfall. So that was Sunday. So I'm getting through the days here real quick. This will be Monday. This is going to be a work day here. And a workout day, too. The young ladies there getting a little jog in. Now, here's a oversized extended truck that wants to pick up one of these cranes. But he's trying to navigate the turn to get into the construction site. And it looks like he's got a situation going. We'll have to see how this gets resolved. And the pool action's being used by some lovely ladies there, getting some exercise in. But luckily they have a guy watching the utility pole there, because it's like an electric pole. And if that truck happened to mistake reverse for forward or vice versa and knock out the pole and then it falls into the pool, then you have a bad situation. The situation gone awry. Okay, so here we are, Monday, January 22nd. There's a power pole. On a previous visit, there were sparks and whatnot coming out of that thing. They had some issues, so they're keeping an eye on that. He's got some help here. Weren't quite sure how he was going to figure this out. All right, so getting away from the power pack there. And I think we're going to go to Plan B. It was too tight of a turn. My mom was offering advice here too. We were on the balcony and she was pointing out, let's see if they take her advice.
You think he'll do that?
All right. The grooming of the beach continues. Yeah, there's a lot of action to watch. You don't have to train on just any one thing. And when you're on vacation, you got all the time, right? Not to worry, not to hurry. Okay, so Plan B, now we're going to go the other way, and we're going to back it in. This was brilliant thinking here. Little jumping of the curb, but that's okay. Sometimes you have to have a little patience. And better to be safe than sorry. So they're going to back this. He's got the oversized load, but after he's loaded up. But yeah, they're going to put one of the cranes on here. The supervisors are the guys with the blue shirts. Purple shirts, light purple. We'll see them in action as it goes. Now look how the beach is filled up here. Nice day here, even on a Monday. A lot of snowbirds down here, but we haven't hit into the spring break season kind of quite yet, although a lot of the colleges have staggered spring breaks. But we're just past the holiday season, but all right. Now, let's see, what do we got? A convention there. Well, I decided to hit the beach, and it's well patrolled, so if you were up to any shenanigans, you would get caught. So, all right, got my feet up in the air. I'm not totally white, I'm kind of off-white. Okay. They were making some clanking noise here. It looks like they're getting ready maybe to put another piling in. $1.88 for the paper. That seems like an odd number. But anyways, drug dealers seized assets auction. Okay. That's coming up the following day. Free admission. There's the website. A preview even. Jewelry. Peter Max, Warhol. All sorts of art. Large diamonds. My evil twin. He was thinking, hey, maybe I could get back some of the stuff I lost for pennies on the dollar. Yeah. All right. Well, the lifeguard was whistling. Not like whistling like you'd think whistling, but they were getting close to the pier. So he was telling them they had to move over a little bit. But good surf action. So the ladies were out doing the surfing thing. Yeah, 77 degrees. Yeah, I left my surfboard at home. Otherwise, I would have shown the ladies a few tricks there. But yeah, beautiful day. And, just it's my childhood days dealing with Tonka toy trucks and the log cabin and the erector set and all that kind of stuff. This construction thing, it brings back memories, childhood memories. Here, watch your head. Careful, duck. Oh. Ooh. I thought he was going to get nailed. Wow. That was close. Too close for comfort, my lord. Well, that's probably why they wear hard hats. Okay, here's the final fishing pier, what it's going to look like, the finished product. This is a drawing inside the lobby. And they're playing a new Hilton hotel just the other side of the shark deck. Okay, here's the map with the overview. There's the pier. We saw the concession stand. I don't know if that's going to get rebuilt. Oceanic. Now, the Pompano Beach House, that's the restaurant that we see being built now. Then they'll also have Albans Island. Jamaica House is where my parents live. That's the view we get. The Shark Deck for the parking. Right across the Shark Deck will be the Hilton Hotel. Not a high-rise hotel either. Kilwins, which we're familiar with in Michigan, the Fudge Place, and a BurgerFi. So, God, they were thinking of everything. You wouldn't want to go anywhere else. Everything is right here. All right. Well, it's fun watching the different trades. And with the concrete, it's nice to see them smooth it out and make it perfect. And so they were hard at work. This is construction. It can be, you need a strong back. I worked construction years ago, and I was a glazer, so that's the glass thing. Putting in frames and doors and windows and the like. And glass, as you well know, is quite heavy, those insulated units. But anyways, we're watching the skilled trades here as far as concrete goes. This was Tuesday. I don't know, did I show the date already? And some people working on the inside there. This will be a nice open-air restaurant. I thought it would have been completed by this time. I was back visiting the folks back in August of last year of 2017, and the construction was going quite well. I thought it'd be through, and I said, hey, I'll treat you to dinner here. But I don't know if the hurricane set them back a little bit. It didn't appear that they had much damage. Here, superintendent is giving some instructions. Probably telling them, hey, this concrete's wet. Do not walk on it, okay? Just let that be for a day. And Pompano Beach is home to the Goodyear blimp, or blimps. They have a hangar. I don't know how many they have at any one time, but there's a lot of action in South Florida, so you'll see these things buzzing around.
Northwest 3rd Avenue.
Okay. All right. Well, going to check out Miami here, and particularly the neighborhood called Wynwood, which is a big art district now. So my mom was the navigator telling me, well, we were using the phone also, but my mom was checking things out. We want to check out what's new and improved here, and there's a lot of art to be had. So for like the next 28 minutes, half hour, we're going to see a lot of colorful artwork. This is a French thing, so she's doing a little smoking. I don't know how you can make there's a little trick to making your cigarette smoke do all that, but she's got nice boots on. This is an épicerie, an art cafe, and they have croissants. It's a French thing. An espresso, that's also French. And the Eiffel Tower, that's also French. But I think we're on 36th Street, and Wynwood goes from like 20th Street to 36th Street. So it's kind of neat, but it was a forgotten neighborhood. Back in the day, I guess it was the shoe warehouse kind of a place. They had a lot of small manufacturing, but it's reinvented itself. Krylon, that's a good, that must be the choice of these graffiti artists as far as their spray paint. Then this was kind of a neat place made out of shipping containers, and that is good. But yeah, this was open to the public. Weren't quite sure how it all played out, what the whole thing was here. But you could certainly stop in and have your lunch. They had like a wall of flowers. A little maze. Yeah, I gotta be careful with music, but this is a good song here to play. Yeah, that's the Doobie Brothers. Miami Mice. I've heard of the show Miami Vice, but that's a new one on me. Miami Mice. So that's what they look like. Pretty cool. And I'm sure they keep the city safe. Probably from this guy, but it says plays well with others. I'm not so sure about that. But yeah, I have to be careful with background music now, because when this gets uploaded to YouTube, they have all those copyright infringements, like if I'm using other people's music to make money. But this is public access, no money to be had here. This is just all fun and games and kind of a thing, you know, little vacation. Here where it all started, I'm taking that's New York, but that's kind of where the street art scene kind of took hold, I guess. Yeah, we're on 36th Street. There's my mom. I keep following her around, keeping an eye on her, but also keeping up with her, too. Here, pure maple syrup. My mom said her brother used to drink maple syrup like that. Overtown, that's where we parked. I wasn't able to download the app because I didn't know how. Now I think I know how to download the app. But I took a chance. We parked our car in Overtown. If you Wikipedia Overtown or Google it, it used to be, they call it like Colored Town, but it was where the black people settled back in the day, in the early part. This area was built up by the trains, and that was the neighborhood where the black folk lived. It's since kind of changed, and then they had a freeway, I-95, go right through the city. I mean, you could make parallels maybe to Black Bottom and Paradise Valley in Detroit, or a black community such as like Harlem. Every city kind of has a different kind of thing and a different history. Oh yeah, moving parts. So they have a concrete mixing place here. And what's happened is is not everything in this neighborhood is thriving, but it seems like everything that's available as a canvas to put up artwork is being used, and it draws your attention or whatnot. You start looking at things and wonder about the possibilities. And so that's what a good thing is, kind of with the artwork. It grabs your attention. You look at it. Look at this, smiling since 1999. So they've been at this for a little while. They have a big art festival or fair. There might be another term that they use, but Art Basel. And it's in December in Miami, and there's a ton of venues. They have renowned artists from all over the world that congregate, but it's not just kind of in the convention center area. It's spilled out to many venues around the city, including this place. Here they have Lulu Laboratorium. World peace, yes. We have a president now that seems to insist on having conflicts all over the world when we had the prior president, it didn't seem like we had issues with everybody. Now we're at odds with everybody. Oh, Lord. All right, well, yeah, just lots of things to look at here. Life in color, definitely. And Miami is a good place. Very artsy town. I am impressed with Miami. All right, well, Lime Bike. First ride free, but boy, that's an eye-catching color combination for that bike. And 2nd Avenue, or 2nd Street, runs north and south. This is the main place for the artwork. But here they have a business for drones, and they didn't have the prices on here, otherwise I would have shared it with you. But these drones are all the rage, and they're so popular now. Geez, oh Pete, Small World USA might have to invest in one of these. All right, flight time, 60 minutes, speed. You got your video resolution that's awesome. Drone Nerds. So if you want to maybe Google that. But there's a few restaurants here. My mom and I thought maybe they could have a few more restaurants. Look at all the cranes, though. There's 3 cranes here just for this one project. And things are moving. You move stuff from point A to point B. Skateboard USA. And you can rent more bikes there. And look at this. You don't know shit from Shinola. This is from Detroit. Imagine that. So they got, woohoo, Detroit. We're all over the place. Life is too short to sit in the passenger seat. So there were words of wisdom printed all over on the sidewalks. I'm still trying to follow my mom. It's hard to keep up with her. I'm trying to take pictures, and she's running around looking around what's around the next corner. So that's the way it goes. I got my exploring bug, I think, from my mom. All right, even the bicycle sign is done up. Wynwood, that's how you spell it. What with one N, W-Y-N Wood. Face the world. Okay. And they got a big gorilla in here. And you can get a mojito. And then these are colorful cacti. I think when you have more than one cactus plant, it's cacti. And I don't know what you call it when you have more than one lock. Locks. Lots of locks. Okay. And then Wynwood Walls. This is like the epicenter of the whole thing. So they have the sign, Wynwood Walls. And you can get here by bus. And they have tours of this place. My mom inquired, I think she said it was $25, which seems kind of pricey, but they do give you the background of a lot of the artists. And so this area is real popular. A lot of tourists walking through here, even though this was a Tuesday morning. And this, they were part of Art Basel last year. So they have an exhibit here. We live in a beautiful world. We most certainly do. So there were a few artists' galleries certainly here, and I would imagine things were for sale. Don't panic. And a huge chandelier. And the artist might have been here, but there is his website and email. Everything must go. And then here, a house of cards. So, words of wisdom or motivational phrases and whatnot, you can pick that out and make of it what you will. And then a little further down, Wynwood doors. So it just continues on. It's kind of like an art campus. And I don't know how it works, if it changes every couple of years. Maybe they repaint the walls and start over. Risk Rock Red. Riscolium. And there's the big boy. Yeah, what an icon. And so some of these were, well, I think this was another gallery. When you see the red dot, there we see a price, $12,500. I couldn't figure out which one was by the title, but they're kind of pricey. Here, the Donald, supersized. Is that his ego? Donald, I meant Ronald, right? That's Ronald McDonald, but it could be Donald Ronald McDonald, for all we know. Kind of one and the same. I think the Donald has a hankering for Big Macs. Here are guys posing. It's like the Incredible Baby kind of a thing. And then the color of her dress really stands out, and really a lot of people were set up for posing. This dress looks great here too, posing in front of this. I wish I would have gotten more of that action. Then they have a book on all this. This was a pricey book, but lots of pretty things. And then a super tall person here. There was a restaurant. Here are the Art Miami week. Well, it says a week long, I guess, but it might even go longer than that. But yes, it was 2nd Avenue. That was a lay of the land. That's kind of the whole neighborhood of Wynwood, but where all the activity is and where to park and stuff. That Detroit should look maybe at having a week-long art festival. We certainly have plenty of events in the city, but maybe dedicate one specifically just to art all over the place. And we have the Grand River Corridor that has some nice artwork. Okay, convolucious or whatever that was. I had that drink, then a sandwich with some greens. My mom and I stopped for a quick lunch. Here's another gallery. Oliver Cole And Gummy Bear, Department of Corrections. Well, look at all the doggies here. They're going out for a little jog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I count 5 there. And she had a coworker following her up, but she had her hands full here. Look at the leash arrangement she's got there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. Wow. Wonder who's getting the workout there. Boy, that's Ghostbeard. Now, I've seen Ghostbeard's work in Detroit, so it's a question whether he's a Detroit artist or he's an artist from the Miami area that came up to Detroit or whatnot. But certainly he's made his presence in Detroit known out at the Eastern Market area. Okay, I'm over here on 3rd Avenue now. And so they even have a flag for their neighborhood. And then you have Charge My Heart. And you have the male, female there. Female on the left, male on the right. And, well, you'll see a lot of these places are for rent, for lease, for sale, what have you. Not everything is inhabited. There's still work to be done. But certainly the artwork draws you in and starts raising questions in your mind. Well, what's happening here? There's my mom checking around what's around the next corner. So I'm just follow the leader. You can get around with skateboard. And what do we got here? Retail restaurant for lease. Here, probably a general contractor that will build to suit. Yeah, this is a little Fast and Furious running around, but there was so much nice artwork all over the place. Here they have a music and arts festival called Okeechobee. I think they have a lake called that too. Even the artwork went to the automobiles and little apartment buildings. This is well done. That's sweet. And again, the detour. Now, Obey. We have a guy, well, he did that. Guy that did Obey did something in Detroit. I never heard that song before, but it sounded really good. Had a nice beat to it and whatnot. It's like you get a different sound thing coming out of Miami, certainly. But maybe people are up on the pop music, have heard that song before. But again, I have to be careful because people think it's copyright violations. So not the case here, though. All right, so some cool businesses here that have their shops open. Tow-away zone, so you really do have to watch where you park. And yeah, different shades of gray here, but it's amazing. And we got some tigers. All right, this is funny. Lock and Load, a panda bear. So I wanted to see what was up with this. Machine Gun Experience. That panda, look at that. Lock and Load Miami. So here we go. Machine Gun Experience and Range. Experience the most exotic fully automatic machine guns in the state-of-the-art facility. Wow, that would be tripping. So I don't know how that all works. It would have been neat to have stepped in and done that. Tour bus. I'm not sure how this actually works. A real nice bus. Be amazed. So he's got his Wynwood glasses. There's the Donald again. Killing America one happy meal at a time. Or the Ronald. Same difference, right? But yeah, every one of these side streets had some stuff going on, and it was just like, wow, I didn't want to miss anything. I had been here a couple years prior with my mom, and I said, yeah, let's go and check back and see what's new. And there was certainly things to be seen and had again. Now, this was a artist shop or whatnot, and look at some of the neon signs they had in here. Trailer park, free XXX cable. They have a welcome to fabulous Vegas there. That looks so cool. Oh, I would have.
This is like the kitchen, and we put those panels, and we're working right now with this one.
Oh, that gentleman was pointing out a few things. They're redoing this Airstream trailer or RV, but they had a bunch of projects going on the inside. I'd love to see what they're doing with that welcome to fabulous Las Vegas sign. But there's a lot of creative people out here. Vintage boutique. Even though it's an art kind of thing, she had nice legs there, didn't she? Alright. Wanted. Yeah, there's a lot of noise in the background if you can hear those construction. Yeah, making all sorts of noise. They have a pizza school. Imagine that. Art of making love for eating. And then this was kind of neat. Bondom. So nice door handles. I take a quick peek inside, but look at these planters. That's a kind of neat. Then some of the furniture. Some of this might maybe work for outdoor patio furniture. I'm not sure. This might be like a tanning kind of I don't know, a sun thing, sunshade. But look at, I love these things here. And then even the light on the top and then the side of the thing. So a furniture store, so be creative. Kind of neat. And then they're going to have Class A offices here, along with the decorative barbed wire. You got a barber shop nearby. Then I'm not sure what this whole display was. They got some creature there. And then a lot of people facing towards the center here. And then they were like all looking at these objects. A round ball, a pyramid, and a square. So there might be some significance to the arrangement. But yeah, they were all bound up and checking it out. Have to have the artist explain, because I'm not quite sure. But like they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and your interpretation is up to you, whatnot. That's what part of the fun of it is. Now, some of these buildings, I think these were all not inhabited. So these would be storefronts that could be had. So there's room for improvement, as there is in every city. There's an ebb and flow, tied in, tied out, what have you. Things change. And it's neat when people walk in front of artwork. It kind of, I don't know. Look at even the artwork on this cement hauler.
I saw a home song somewhere.
All right, a relaxing bear. Yeah, it's kind of catchy. Once you get into the art thing, it catches on and everybody jumps on board and has some fun with it. This was like a gated compound here. And then, well, this part's for mature audiences only. I don't know if that was like a Miami Vice kind of a thing, but you had to buzz in, and it was kind of like you never know with things Well, there's the shoe kind of thing. So we saw a few shoe places. And then here's another firearm. No felons allowed, so I'm not going to get past that. They had 4 exclamation points there. They had a sale going on. We're looping back to where we parked the car. So we're on 20th Street, and that's the start of Wynwood. But Overtown extends to where we parked. I was afraid maybe the car might have gotten towed. Luckily, it did not, so we were good. But I'd love to check Overtown again on another trip. Here, a lizard, or kind of an iguana thing or whatever. These things are quick. I'm trying to get a good look, and then, boom, it's gone. It can scamper lickety-split. Then we went to the the design... Oh, what do they call this? Design Miami Center. Look at this building, though. This is under construction. And this is unreal. This is just north. Okay. Institute of Contemporary Art. So it'll be an art museum here when it's all said and done. But... they want to be at the Miami Design District. Okay, there it's a registered trademark. Miami Design District. Some more painting going on. But yeah, they have all number of different styles of artwork gracing the side of this building. So kind of crazy. And then, well, here with the car culture in Detroit, look at this. I think they have a split window Corvette somewhere in the mix there. Yeah, so this will be interesting when it's all said and done to maybe check out the museum or see what they got inside. Along with this neighborhood too, though, is an area, never been kissed by a mermaid, just if you were wondering. They have some of the graffiti and whatnot extends a little bit out this way. They're going to have an art festival here in February, so it looks like they have many. All right. Well, this one I can figure out where you just put in your license plate. It's $1.75 per hour. I'm a little slow with all that technology thing. I'll get that app thing figured out, but a lot of that is done with apps nowadays. I have a few apps on my phone, but never downloaded one for parking. But look at the decorative sewer covers. Kind of neat. And this building is one of my favorites. And I think maybe on a part of it, it's a parking deck. But certainly good design is paramount. And Detroit is a Detroit, what do they call it? Detroit Design Festival they have, but we're into the design thing now. I'm going to check more into what they're all doing. Here we're checking the time here, the Rolex time, so my camcorder's pretty much in sync even with the Rolex. And my camcorder much cheaper, although bulkier than a Rolex. Rolex is a nice status symbol to be sure. All right. So this is a shopping district area also. So it gives you the lay of the land. So they have a lot of watches and jewelry. And then we're going to listen to these birds. Yeah, I think those were parrots, but they were making quite a racket. Then my mom knew all about this designer, known for the shoes and having the red sole. And she says they're quite pricey. So the ladies might know all about this stuff. Nothing matters that much. I want to go back to believing a story. Well, I still believe in Santa Claus, just so you know. The Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy also. All that stuff. Alright, well, there are more shops. They're adding some more. This is high rent. There's a lot of pricey stores here. When I shop, this is usually the kind of upscale places I like to go to. Oh, I'm kidding. I surely say that in jest. I'm not a shopper. I don't have the shopping gene in my DNA. Not in the least. But I can walk around on the outside. I just don't like to open up the wallet and put out the credit card kind of thing. Here is a post office. This is styling. I like this. Buena Vista post office. Yeah. That place is for lease. But then, this is kind of neat. Design and Architecture Senior High School. Have high schools dedicated to a certain, thing to lead you into a career path or whatnot. And here it is. Design and fashion. I heard in the news they were going to expand on a fashion high school. We should do that more so in Detroit too. Have high schools tailored for certain things. I think maybe some of the mature audiences only. I apologize if anyone's panties are getting all bunched up, but that's just the way it is out here. They look at things differently out in Miami. But Louis Vuitton, even if you're out in the jungle, you can dress well. Here, the rotating fans. Some of you may have heard of Gloria Estefan. So she's got a restaurant. You can be a swinger there. Nice blue glass. Yeah, they have like a courtyard here. Yeah, this is a high rent kind of area. I'm not sure if that was the designer of the plaza here or not. And then some beautiful flowers, which we don't normally see like in Michigan. They're kind of like the tropical kind of thing. But another... Okay. Well, that was that. So that was Tuesday. I got one more day on my trip here on Wednesday. And again, the scene from the balcony. This is Wednesday, January 24th. So construction action. I can never get enough of this stuff. So the workers are just making their way in. And nice. Just missed the sunrise, but things are kind of quiet. I'll have about 15 minutes or so for next week's show, if that's the way I roll with it. Kind of when it gets colder, this is the time of year I kind of do a lot of hibernation and just kind of hunker down. I go to work, and then I go home. Then I might cook. I definitely get my sleep in. That's what hibernating is all about. But I love watching these groomers. They got it going on. I'm mesmerized. Oh, and check this out. He must have found something shiny in the sand. Maybe a Krugerrand. Nope. An empty bottle or something. Well, kudos to the worker here. Going the extra step there to stop it and restart. Keep the beach clean and whatnot. That's what you like to see, dedicated employees. Folks, though, I ran over the hour thing here, but thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day or weekend, whatever the case may be. And good night. The concrete has dried. Yes. We'll continue this next week.